You're watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Hello and welcome to this special edition of the Red Devil Postgame. I'm Kennedy Harris.
And I'm Maggie Lathem. In this episode, we're going to take an in-depth look at the Germantown Red Devils versus the Bolton Wildcats basketball game.
We will also have a discussion with the Red Devils head coach Jason James about Germantown's performance against Bolton.
In our football segment, we will talk about the importance of athletics in high school education, featuring the nationally recognized football program of Whitehaven High School.
And we will also showcase our 5 Red Devil football players who signed to play on the next level on National Signing Day.
But first, reporter Deborah Noel brings us the best moments from this year's Winterfest activities.
I think that from the very beginning of the school year, we talk about family and that Germantown High School is a big family. And I think that homecoming and Winterfest just provides an opportunity for us to prove it.
Just like homecoming for football in the fall, Winterfest is a celebratory time for students of GHS in the winter to show their appreciation for basketball and to raise school spirit.
Well, I feel that Winterfest is very fun for all the kids at Germantown High School. You know, they have a great time getting out of class and enjoying the school spirit.
This year, to get our athletes and their fans pumped before the big game, a new tradition was started. Not only was there an interactive pep rally, a group of students and teachers played against each other in the new student-faculty game.
I thought it was fun to see our faculty playing basketball. Some of them are very, very good. And I think it's fun for them to get to interact with our students in a time when they've not seen them in that role.
Similar to homecoming, one of the key aspects to Winterfest is the crowning of the Winterfest Queen during the basketball game. Senior Kiana Smith won the title this year and is truly honored to have been chosen by her classmates.
I feel amazing. It's like a great feeling knowing people actually know of me and just being known, I guess.
I think that she understands that she's representing our school, and that's an important role.
Although losing the game versus Bolton that night, school spirit was yet high as students still expressed loyalty and gratitude for their alma mater.
Well, I think it brings all the kids together, you know. They all have a good time.
I feel like it's brought me closer to Germantown. I feel more of the Red Devil spirit every day.
Reporting for Red Devil Postgame, I'm Deborah Noel.
Germantown battled against the Bolton Wildcats in a tough-fought game, but unfortunately were defeated. Take a look in this week's intense game highlights. The first quarter was one for the defense, starting with a major block by center DeMarcus Mitchell. 2 more incredible blocks came in the same quarter, with it ending with a score of 11-5. Red Devils in the lead. The second quarter came with both teams coming out hot. Bolton later hit a deep 3 to close the gap, but the Red Devils fired back to end the half 20-12. After halftime, both teams came out extra hot, starting with Mark Johnson knocking one down before Bolton quickly got it right back on the other side. Then Germantown went on a quick run with 2 straight buckets, one from Morgan Long and another from Mark Johnson. Bolton kept inching closer, but the Red Devils fought them off repeatedly, ending the third quarter leading by 10. The fourth quarter was a big turnaround for Bolton, who started to play a full-court defense, getting steals left and right and converting them into points. Eventually, the Wildcats catch up with Germantown to tie the game 45-45. Germantown attempted to fight them off when Ashton Taylor hit a quick shot, but Bolton kept fighting and racking up multiple buckets in the process. Final score, 57-49. Bolton takes the W.
Red Devil basketball head coach Jason James joins us now on set to discuss in depth the grudge match between the two teams. Coach James, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
So starting off, Coach James, how did you and the Red Devils prepare to take on a team like Bolton?
Well, we had a couple good days of practice. We tried to focus on their main points, which was their press and their ability to get to the basket. So we really hit hard about containing the ball and making sure we found the open man against their pressure, which, you know, late in the game it ended up getting us. But we spent a couple good days on that, trying to be tough and learn to rebound, and some of the basic stuff we do just about every week.
Well, in the first quarter, Germantown's defense was incredible. And I know you just told us about your strategy and how to prepare for Bolton's offense, but how did you guys go about that in the first quarter?
Well, I thought we settled in defensively very, very well. We were able to contain the ball. We were helping each other. We were able to get the rebound. And for us, those three things are very, very important, especially on the defensive end. You got to keep the ball in front of you. You got to help when the ball does get by your teammate, and then you got to rebound it. And I thought we did a good job of that in the first quarter.
Well, how do you think the Winterfest activities that were going on before and during the game affected the players' abilities on the court?
I thought we were very excited to play. I mean, when you have a crowd like that, you kind of feed off their energy, and then to see some of your classmates be crowned, and I know a lot of our students knew the Queen, and so from that standpoint, they were excited to be in front of their students. And anytime you can play and have your peers cheering you on, I think it's a motivating factor, and I think it showed, especially in the first half.
So the Devils were leading at the end of the half. So what was said to them during halftime to keep them going for the second half?
We wanted to focus on continuing to play the right way. I thought in the first half we played right and we shared the ball and got open shots. And in the second half, we wanted to just keep doing that. We didn't want to change much. We wanted to focus on the task at hand, meaning taking every possession like it's the only possession and going from there. And I thought we did that again for the most part in the third quarter. Fourth quarter kind of got to us, but that was the deal, just continue to do what we do.
Now, some younger players like Morgan Long and Mark Johnson made some big plays in the third quarter to help the team keep going. So what is your reaction on the sidelines when you see underclassmen try and take the lead like that?
It's very encouraging because you know they have years to play. You know, a lot of our guys are inexperienced, so whenever they play well, for me as a coach, it's very encouraging because you know they have another year. Some sophomores have a junior year, juniors have a senior year, and so it's good to see those guys get it. I think that's important, especially down the stretch for us.
So it was in the beginning of the fourth quarter when Bolton finally started to catch up with the Red Devils. What do you think contributed to this comeback?
Turnovers. They turned their defensive pressure.
Real fucking thing. Damn.
And they get more motivated, and now next thing you know, we're in a dogfight, which is what happened. So you know, whenever you turn the ball over, it gives the other team extra opportunities, and then that's what we did.
Although the Devils fought very hard in overtime, Bolton eventually won. What do you think the team learned from this loss?
I think we learned how good we can be if we play right. I think we also learned that the turnover will absolutely destroy a basketball team. It'll destroy a basketball game. And so moving forward, those are some things we try to focus on a daily basis, continue to play the game the right way on both ends, and do our best to take care of basketball.
Well, the season's now over, so what do you think that the team can improve on for next season, and how do you think next season could turn out?
I mean, it could go fine, to be honest with you. It kind of depends on them. Depends on the work they want to put in here in the off season. You know, we've got a district game. We don't know who will play, and so we got at least one left. But moving forward into district and into the spring, it's important that guys continue to take the game serious, continue to work on their individual game, which in turn will help us collectively as a unit.
So we talked about the younger players earlier. So with a number of seniors leaving, how do you think that the young players can start to lead?
Well, you have to lead by example. I think that's first and foremost. You know, they have to show up every day on time and put in the work to be good. And when they start to put in the work, the younger guys, the freshmen and sophomores, we'll see that work they're putting in. And now you have good leadership. Leading by example, to me, is the best way, especially in the off season.
Well, Coach James, thank you so much for joining us today and telling us more about this game.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for all you do. Thanks for having me.
Now let's take a look at the game through the player's point of view in this edition of the Player Playback.
We need to start at the beginning of games ready to play. We kind of struggled at the beginning of the game, so coming out early, having that intensity and effort will make us better.
We just stayed together, lift each other up when we messed up and stuff like that. And free throws too, that was a big part of the win.
Control the team as a point guard, just make sure limit turnovers and everybody in check, and we, playing how we need to play.
I should have shot a couple more shots, tried to score, but other than that, I did decent.
We're still gelling, trying to get to the end of the year as far as tournament play and make sure we are together at the end.
We losing, but you know what we able to do and what we can do, and just believe in that, we should be straight.
Stick around. We will have more coming up on this edition of the Red Devil Postgame.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
You're watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
February 1st was one of the most important days in a student-athlete's life, National Signing Day. That day, 5 GHS students put on caps and announced where they will take their game to the next level. Our congratulations to Devin Banks, Brandon Lloyd, Trey Goins, Cameron Tawari, and Antarius Branch. Reporter Ryan Coleman brings us some highlights from their special day at GHS.
Last few things before we eat.
I think they set a good standard for others to follow in the future of the program. Obviously, there's 7 million athletes that play high school sports. Only 2% actually sign scholarships. They've shown leadership by example on how to be uncommon, how to show up to practice on time, how to work out extra, how to do things in the classroom. So they've set a good standard for the future players.
Well, they push me every day. They expected me to be a leader, so they made me go harder in practicing. Now I'm here, I signed a scholarship, so now it helped.
Be the best player that I can be in each individual area. Be the best student I can be in each individual class. Graduating 4 years, enough to make it to the next level.
Well, it shows them the example on how to get to where they want to go. A lot of them have the goal in getting to play college sports or getting to the collegiate level. What this does, it makes the performance and behavior match the goal that they've set.
The high school football season has been long over now, but this January, following an undefeated season and state championship, the Whitehaven High School football team received outstanding national recognition. The Whitehaven Tigers was ranked number 76 in the nation and received the Army National Guard National Ranking Trophy. I recently took a visit to Whitehaven to talk to the players and coach on how they made an outstanding accomplishment. Student athletes scoring both on the field and in the classroom is the main goal for every school in Shelby County. With the Class 6A championship under their belt, Whitehaven High has secured their spot as the best football program in Memphis. The hard work and dedication of the players and coaches stand behind this outstanding achievement.
We practice a lot. We condition a lot. We went head to head, like first team versus first team. We battled a lot in practice.
Our theme for this year was We Are One. So getting the buy-in and focus of being one team, one body, and getting on the field and starting to work the process.
After a long summer and preseason, Whitehaven came ready to play, considering every opponent a threat to their streak.
Us not just coming out here thinking that the season's going to come there just because of Whitehaven, but actually being in the gym, working hard, spending hard times out here on the field.
You can't be satisfied with being mediocre. You can't be satisfied with being the best. You got to try to be better.
Going undefeated throughout the entire season, the Tigers made it to the championship and beat Murfreesboro's Oakland High with a score of 12-9. The unbelievable feeling still overcomes the players.
The feeling was surreal. I still don't believe to this day.
I never thought I'd be winning state, you know. I just never thought about that. I just thought about winning. But the celebration of winning state, you know, that's kind of different, you know, because Oakland was a very great team.
Even though the gameplay of the team pushed them to be state champions, the professional skills of the coaches was a key factor in the team's success.
Our job as coaches is to lead them and let them know that as soon as you let your guard down, that's when someone can take advantage of you.
For the Whitehaven athletes, the preparation and focus learned on the football field is truly applied in their academics.
Because football can help teach you a lot of principles that can help you in life. Again, time management being one, teamwork being another, dedication, perseverance, all those things translate just as easily in the classroom as they do on the football field.
All in all, the goal was met, winning the championship as well as winning in the classroom.
That's one of the goals that we set forth in this, is to not only be one of the best teams in the city of Memphis, the state of Tennessee, but also be known, recognized across the country for producing high-quality student athletes. And I want to emphasize the student part because that's what allows them to get the opportunities.
Reporting for the Red Devil Postgame, I'm Kennedy Harris.
When we come back, reporter Deborah Noel will bring us some of the best games from around the district and the upcoming games for our Red Devils. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Germantown High School, an international baccalaureate creative and performing arts optional school, a destination school for students who are going places.
Our students are of the highest caliber when it comes to their academics and knowledge.
The IB program is a very rigorous program.
You were challenged in a way that you thought you couldn't be challenged. You succeeded, something that other kids may not have thought they could do.
They're accepted to colleges that are just, dream colleges for so many people.
Germantown High School offers a CAPA program, the Creative and Performing Arts program.
When I first came here, I saw the television studio and I was just amazed at what all I saw.
Kids do everything, that they're taught every detail that has to do with theater arts and creative arts.
I love a lot of things about Germantown High School, but primarily what I love is the athletics. There's something exciting around every single corner.
We probably are one of the most diverse high schools in the state of Tennessee, maybe the United States.
I would never doubt about sending your child to Germantown High School.
This high school is something not like any other high school that we have.
There's definitely fun in the work. We find fun in everything we do.
You're watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Welcome back to this edition of the Red Devil Postgame. I'm Kennedy Harris.
And I'm Maggie Lathem. Kennedy, our Red Devils had an amazing season this year, but besides our own Red Devils, there are some other teams in Memphis to be excited about.
That's right, Maggie. Our hometown Grizzlies have been playing tremendously recently, and their recent success is definitely something to be proud of living in the Memphis area. This is a level of basketball that we haven't seen from them in a while.
It's definitely a great time to be a Grizzlies fan.
Now Deborah Noel will give us a look at some of the most exciting games from around the district. Deborah?
Starting off with our hometown Grizzlies, Memphis played the Denver Nuggets in a conference matchup that ended up one-sided. During the first half, the Grizzlies had some big buckets, including a very deep three from Marc Gasol at the end of the first half. Point guard Mike Conley made a smooth layup to make the score 62-49 in the Grizzlies' favor. In the second half, the Grizzlies continued to shine, starting off with a soft floater with Marc Gasol. By the fourth quarter, the Grizzlies had a 20-point lead, with Zach Randolph pushing it even more with a nice jump shot over Johnny O'Brien. Final score, 119-99. Grizzlies win. Continuing on to the Tigers, Memphis faced a crushing defeat against the UCF Knights. The Tigers had a slow start in the first half, only managing to put up 26 points to UCF's 43. However, Memphis was able to constantly score, but they were no match for UCF's solid offense. Moving on to the second half, Memphis's momentum began to rival that of the Knights, with Memphis putting up 31 points to UCF's 29. But in the end, the Knights still put up enough points to secure the lead. Ultimately, Memphis losing with the score of 57-72. Knights win. Kennedy, Maggie, back to you guys.
Now let's take a look at how the top teams place in the district standings. At number 1, we have Southwind, who just came off an 85-78 win over Kirby. Southwind is ranked number 6 in the state, so it isn't surprising to see them in this position. Number 2, Ridgeway, has a record of 8-3 against teams in the district. The Roadrunners just beat Collierville in their final game of the season. Having won 20 games overall, the season turned out to be a successful one. And rounding out the top 4, we have Houston with a 6-4 district record and Collierville with a 6-5 record. So Maggie, out of those top 4 teams, which one impressed you the most during the season?
Well, you know, Kennedy, I have to just give it to Southwind. They are in the top 10 in Tennessee. They have showed great sportsmanship this season. And, you know, I just have to say, each time they went on the court, they just gave it their all. And that's really all you can ask from a team.
I agree. Southwind's definitely had a great season.
Continuing on, Kirby is at number 5 with a district record of 4-6. They fell short to Southwind last week. At number 6, we have our own Red Devils, who stand at 4-7. Germantown just beat Wooddale this week to end their season. Go Red Devils! And finishing the district, Wooddale stands at a record of 0-10. Wooddale hopes to rebuild and make next season a better one. So Kennedy, out of those teams I just mentioned, which team did you enjoy watching this season the most?
Well, Maggie, Kirby definitely had a good season, but I have to give it to our Red Devils. I mean, even though we didn't get to the level that we hoped for, they played hard every night, and that excites me as a fan. Hard work would definitely be a factor on how next season turns out.
Our Red Devils did give it their all. Now, reporter Deborah Noel gives us a look at the upcoming games for our Red Devils.
With the close of the Red Devils basketball season, we will be moving on to soccer. Taking a sneak peek at your varsity Red Devils soccer schedule, first game is versus the Cordova Wolves, right here at the home of the Red Devils at Farmington Elementary. The following week, the Devils travel to Gatlinburg to play in a tournament where their skills will be tested. But on the road back, the next game will be March 21st versus the Briarcrest Saints at their house. All games start at 7 p.m. sharp. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Deborah. So Maggie, that first game against Cordova should definitely be a great way to start the season for the soccer team.
I have to agree with you there. Our soccer team always does a great job, and I'm really excited to see what they have in store for us this season.
Thank you for joining us on this edition of the Red Devil Postgame. If you would like more information on our programming, please check us out at www.ghstv.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter at GHS-TV. From all of us here at GHS-TV, I'm Kennedy Harris.
And I'm Maggie Lathem. We will see you again on the next edition of Red Devil Postgame. Go Red Devils!